I'm Ron Wilstein. I'm a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties in Park City, Utah, and I'm going to share with you my predictions for Park City real estate in 2017. Of course, I want to begin the new year with a happy New Year's wish for one and all. Have a happy and healthy new year. Now let's turn our attention to what I think will be happening in Park City's real estate market for the new year. I want to begin by giving a little bit of a background simply by talking about the Park City real estate market overall. It will form the context for the predictions or the forecast that I'm going to share with you. And we're looking back at 2016, the entire calendar year. Over that year, 1,313 sales occurred. That's homes, condominiums, and vacant land. That's all real estate brokerages combined. And that is 81 fewer sales, or 6% lower than the year before. Specifically, when we break it down, I'm looking at this graph here of homes, condos, and lots. I'm looking at January 2016 through December 16, depicted by the red bar. Silver bars are the 12-month period the year before. You can see that homes are up actually by 3%, with the total number of sales being at 519 from 502 the year before. Condominiums, however, are down from 694 down to 621. That's an 11% decline. And then lot sales, which they're for the whole year aren't that many anyway, down about 13% from 198 sales to 173 sales in 2016. Now, when we look at homes specifically, and I've broken this down into Park City and Snyderville Basin, you can see that the number of sales of homes in the city limits decreased slightly by 4%, by 7 sales from 160 the year before in 2015 to 153 this past year. In the Snyderville Basin, homes, however, were up by 7%, climbing from 342 sales all the way up to 366. Here we're looking at condominiums, same sort of information. This case, both within the Park City and the Snyderville Basin, number of sales dropped off 9% within the city limits from 332 sales to 303. Snyderville Basin, 12% decrease from 362 sales to 318. So the fewer sales than the year before. Here we're looking at vacant land. Now within the Park City limits, you can see there were only 21 sales this past year, 27 the year before. So we're dealing with a really small sampling, but that 7 fewer sales is a 22% decrease. Snyderville Basin, larger sampling, dropped from 171 sales to 152 in 2016, about 11% decrease. So overall, the number of sales are down year over year. The question is why? That's what we're going to look at. Here we're looking at the average time on the market for homes to sell, and they're selling 3 days faster. It's not a big difference, but 101 days versus 104 days in 2015. That shows a strong market. Now, the thing that you want to realize is that when properties are priced correctly, they are selling quickly, even quicker than a year ago. However, properties that are not priced correctly are staying in the market quite a bit longer than a year before. So let's take a look at prices. Here we're looking at home medium sold prices. Again, I've broken it down Park City city limits and the Snyderville Basin. Prices up 7% in the city limits from 1,497,500 all the way up to 1,600,000 in the city limits. Nice increase. In the Snyderville Basin, rose by 9% from 881,350 being the medium sold price to 950,000. So nice strong appreciation. Those of you who follow my webinars on a monthly basis do, however, realize that this is actually single-digit appreciation. We have seen for a couple years now double digits. A little bit of an adjustment here. Still very, very strong. Condominiums, here's your double-digit appreciation that we're accustomed to seeing in the Park City limits. Climbed from 590,000 all the way to 675,000. And a Snyderville Basin, a 12% increase from median price of 400,000 year before to 446,803. So nice appreciation. Here we're looking at lots. Again, 11% appreciation in the city limits from 615,000 to 680,000. Again, not a lot of sales of lots, so it's a small sampling, but those are the facts. Snyderville Basin, where we saw more sales, 27% increase from 362,500 all the way up to 460,000. So while we've seen that the number of transactions, homes, condos, and lots overall are down, prices are up, and either single digits or double digits, and quite considerably. So that's what has happened over the last 12 months. The question is, if that's what happened in 2016, what's going to happen in 2017? Calendar just turned over. I want to give you my thoughts on my forecasts or predictions for the new year. Number one, we're going to continue to see a lot of new homes and condos for sale 2017. We saw this beginning in 2016. It's going to continue. There are over 20 new homes, condos, and townhouse developments underway in Park City and Deer Valley. Some of them will be completed in this new year, 2017. Some will roll over into 2018. But that's a lot of different choices for today's buyer. Different geographical areas, different neighborhoods, different price points, but more choices than we've seen in a number of years. Now, many people prefer to purchase new properties. They just like something new, something that maybe hasn't been lived in before. New properties will attract those buyers. New properties will be the competition for the older ones, and if you own an older property and you're thinking of selling it, you need to take that into account. Property values will continue to rise, but I believe in the new year it will be at a slower pace than what we have seen in recent years. We have seen year-over-year double-digit appreciation. I think it's going to be dropping into the single-digit appreciation. Still going up, but maybe not as aggressively as it has gone up. We've seen and reported to you through our webinars 12 to 23% appreciation for a couple years now, year-over-year comparison. Every single month we look at it. Think it's going to hit maybe down as low as 7 up to 10%. So we're still going to see appreciation, and 7 to 10% is very positive. It's superior to most areas around the country, but slow down compared to what we have seen here in Park City. So what do I believe is going to happen? Homes and condos will continue to sell quickly, 30 days or less, often with multiple offers when priced reasonably. There's a tendency, because of Park City's high history of appreciation, of overpricing, we are definitely seeing a slowdown on those selling. That's what's accounting for fewer sales compared to the previous year. Condominium sales will be strong in 2017 in terms of both number of sales and rising property values, so condos are steady. Older homes and condos that have not been significantly upgraded will have some difficulty selling. And I've already mentioned that there are a lot of new properties out there. People can buy something new with the latest, greatest improvements compared to an older property that hasn't been upgraded. They're going to gravitate toward doing that unless that older property's got that better location. And of course, we know three most important things of value in real estate is location, location, location. But people will pay for a new property. They'll pay more money for that new property over an older one that hasn't been upgraded if all other things are equal. Vacant land prices will remain stable except in the limited supply neighborhoods where there will be demand that will still drive up the prices. So those areas that have very few lots in them and they're popular, those prices are going to keep going up. Otherwise, I think we're going to see pretty stable year-over-year prices comparing 2016 with 2017. Now, I do want to talk about my 10% pricing rule because I have been sharing these details for actually a number of years now because I watched it surface in the Park City market. I've been here 28 years. About 4 years ago, I saw a very strong pattern that in a rising market, a seller who was going to put their property on the market could potentially list their property up to 10% above the fair market value and still sell it. But if you went higher than that, your chances of selling really diminished if they occurred at all. This is a graph here that I've used to illustrate this over the years. And it simply says that if you price, let's say, if this is fair market value and you price 5% above fair market value, you're going to sell it a couple months maybe. If you priced at 10%, it would take longer. It might take 3 or 4 months. And if you priced above that, it may not sell at all. Well, what we're seeing here, and we've seen this for the last 6 months in 2016, we've seen some definite resistance from buyers because sellers keep trying to get that next higher price and price and price. There's some resistance there. Based upon an increased inventory of properties to buy, which I've shared, there's many new developments providing new properties, increased inventory for buyers, and buyer resistance to those sellers who keep trying to set that next record high sale price. Listing prices are going to need to be closer to those actual prices. So I'm carefully considering, I've been watching this for a couple months, of adjusting my tried and true 10% pricing rule to possibly 8 or 9%. Still looking at the data. I want to see it for another 2 or 3 months, but these are my predictions in January for the whole year of 2017. And I guess I'm trying to give you a little bit of a sneak angle on this, that I think a fair price for listing it over a fair market price for a seller, it's going to be about 8 or 9% as a top, whereas in the past it was 10%. I'm still looking at a little more data, but that's what I see somewhat happening. Won't be surprised if that is what in fact occurs in 2017. Finally, let me talk about cash deals. Most of our purchases, not most, but half their purchases are all cash. It remains strong. So about 1 out of every 2 is a cash transaction, doesn't require financing. That's nice for sellers. They feel confident that a deal will happen when buyers have the cash in order to close right when they write their offer. So overall, prices will continue to rise in 2017, but at a lesser amount than seen in recent years, and the number of sales will remain about the same as we saw in 2016. With that in mind, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to call me. My phone number is right there at the bottom of the screen, 800-535-0151. Certainly, you can send me an email, ron@thewilsteinteam.com, and I'll be happy to talk to you and answer any questions you have. And just if you have any questions, you want to kick around ideas, I'm here for you. So thank you for taking the time to participate and watching this short webinar, and hope it's been helpful for you. Bye-bye.